It's me, Untitled Cub, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see if it's really worth buying one of the cheapest mouse and keyboard adapters on the market. So getting into the video, I found one of the lowest priced mouse and keyboard adapters at the time of purchase. It cost me a little under 40 bucks with shipping and handling. And once I got the product, the magic began. Getting into the unboxing, pretty straightforward. You get a small box with the adapter inside and a USB Type-C cable. Also, you get a very basic manual of how to set it up and how to switch the programmable keybinds on the keyboard. The device has 3 USB plugs for your mouse, controller, and of course your keyboard. And that's about it. So getting into the setup is pretty straightforward. It comes as a micro C USB Type-C cable, and all you have to do is plug it into the right side of the device and plug that cable into the Xbox. So once you get it plugged in, just reach over, plug it into your Xbox. It took me a minute to do this because the way my setup is. So once you do that, it should be glowing. And you want to get your mouse and keyboard wires and plug them in first. So I plugged in my keyboard. Now I'm going to plug in my mouse cable. Once I get my mouse cable plugged in, I had to find the location. The mouse cable's up where you plug the USB Type-C connector in for the power. Now this device also comes with an audio jack, and the audio jack worked perfectly fine, so we were all good there. Also, when you plug in the controller, it should automatically sync to your Xbox. So one of the things I want to point out while I was setting this up, trying to change the keybinds wasn't working the greatest for me, and I never ended up being able to get it to work. I was able to change certain keybinds or key controls, but it still didn't feel as good as like the GameStar or something like that. And the best option for that is changing the settings in-game or your DPI. Now, I have gameplay of 3 different games. We have Rust. We're currently on Rust right now. Rust runs pretty good with this device. Now, there is a little bit of a DPI sensitivity with the mouse I'm using. It's kind of cheap, so it doesn't feel the greatest, if that makes any sense. So the few things I want to say is that if you want to change any of the settings, it was easier to change the in-game settings and your DPI in your mouse more than it was to actually change any settings on the adapter itself. The games that we are going to try to play with this adapter is Rainbow Six Siege, Rust on console, and since I currently do not have Apex installed or up to date, we're going to play Insurgency Sandstorm. This is mainly a PC game that's ported recently to console, so it should run the best with some sort of adapter. So the first game I want to talk about overall with issues I was having was Rainbow Six Siege. So in the game itself, it ran great. It felt pretty decent for being a $30 dongle. The recoil control was a little lackluster, and that's about it. Rainbow felt like any other, when you play on any other dongle, it felt perfectly fine. Moving over to Rust, it didn't perform the hottest. Rust definitely had the most, you could see most of the issues while playing Rust with the sensitivity and not having any sort of smoother or change the latency or how much the input of the mouse was. Rust definitely gave me the most hard time while using the mouse, and I kept getting really frustrated because my keybinds that I kept changing on purposely to use Rust, it kept not saving them, and it got me really angry at multiple times. I was about to give up and just walk away. And Insurgency Sandstorms, not really much to say to it. It honestly felt the best out of all of them. There was no lag input, there's no smoothness I needed adjusted. It's literally, it feels like if you had the game on PC and you were playing on your Xbox with mouse and keyboard. It feels really good. This game does not have mouse and keyboard support, sadly. I wish it did. This game is great. And that's about it to say for that. This is the opinion part of my video. Getting into my opinions of the adapter, I don't hate it. The C91 Max, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Therefore, what I like about the adapter is that it's very straightforward how to set it up. And as advertised, it is ready to go straight out of the box. I agree with that a lot, and the latency doesn't really exist with this device completely. Comparing it to one of the cheapest adapters that I reviewed before, this is honestly pretty good. And that's basically the only good things I have to say about it. On the other side of things, what I don't like, and oh boy, there's a lot. First of all, for the price, you're getting a hunk of plastic. It is not built well, it does not look well, and the lights are cool and all, but it really is not worth it having a device with RGB. It feels like even if you drop this a foot, it's going to break into a million pieces. Like the old Lego sets that you had as a kid, you put together and you're like, oh, what's this in my tote? And you drop it, it breaks. That's how this thing feels. It feels like absolute junk. Second thing that I do not like about this, every time I tried to change the keybinds for the keyboard, it would not save my changes. It got me very frustrated when I was trying to play Rust. And I did say this earlier in the video that I just had so many issues while trying to change the keybinds. And I just want to emphasize that like the keybind settings were not working for me. Now your chances might vary a lot more. It might work for you, it might not. It might be the devices itself. But that's really what made me frustrated the most. Starting things off with Rainbow Six Siege, definitely one of the worst adapters for Rainbow, just because no way to adjust the smoothness and the input acceleration. I can say that pretty much it's the same thing for the rest of this adapter for all the game. The only game that showed any sort of potential with this adapter is of course Insurgency Sandstorm. And I can't say this enough, the only reason why this game has any potential at all with this adapter is because it is a direct port from PC. Basically overall, this device really isn't worth the 40 bucks. You're better off spending 10 more and getting a device with an app, aka a GameSir or one of the other dongles that have app support. And honestly, I would get more potential out of any sort of better adapter. There's too many adapters on the market to really use this, and there's too many downsides for this device to be honestly worth spending 40 bucks on it. And don't be me and waste your money by buying a cheap adapter that honestly is trash. Don't be me, don't waste your money for some on absolutely trash. That's it for this video. If you guys like these videos, please like and subscribe. Check out my other content. It'll be around the bottom left corner for my last video. And if you are interested in any of the adapter videos or any of the other adapter videos, I have a playlist. Go check it out. I'll put it in the link in the description. Have a good day.